Hello and welcome to The Sims 3, or rather building a house in super mega speed mode, Sims 3. I recorded this. And I sped it up. I literally sped it up and removed the audio because otherwise it would be like... I didn't record any audio of myself while doing that because I said a house will take probably a while to, build. So I said, I probably is either best if I do a highlight, as in a shorter movie of it, or rather, not a shorter movie of it, but rather shorter clips of it and stitch them together, or if I make a full-fledged movie without my voice on and then just speed it up 2,100 times and just be done with it. I have no clue how much this is sped up actually, because I believe the entire recording was about 2 hours, whereas I now have a half an hour clip, so I guess it would be 4 hours. I guess? No, wait, 4 hours, sorry, 4 times. Sorry, I just recorded this and Jesus Christ, it took a long while. And I'm completely mind broken right now, so I do apologize if I say anything stupid right now. But yeah, you can see that I messed up with the cheats, some building cheats that actually helped me make this house a bit better, or rather make it look better. Most importantly, I used 2 cheats, which are constrain floor elevation space, true or false. When false, you can mess up with the walls the way I do right now, and move objects on and off. And if on, then you can just clip 2 objects together and make them look better. I did that with windows actually. I did a lot of windows because I wanted exact... What is the deal? I bought the Humble Origin bundle, which gave me the game, as well as... Oh, you can see here that I messed around with constraint floor elevation and stuff, but it didn't work. These stairs didn't work. As you can see, this is how they would look, and then I decided, you know what? I'll just remove them. But yeah, essentially, I bought the Humble Origin bundle, and with it, oh, that was a failed attempt at a gatehouse of sorts, but I will move it to another place, because I noticed that it was a bit too elevated, and then I moved it out. Yeah, I got some expansion packs of The Sims, and I didn't want to build a house that required expansion packs in any way, because I felt like, let's try to build it with the base items that you get from the base game, so that once everybody is able to play it, I mean everybody that has just the normal game can download my house. I'll be putting this house on The Sims Exchange, and people will be able to play it. So yeah, I decided to just go with the basic couple of items, and here I was messing up with this entrance, and I had to lower the ground quite a bit before I could find something that was suitable, and I am actually quite happy with the outcome of that. Especially at the end of the house, once the house is entirely built, you'll see the final product. It's quite cool. I like it. Now we're going off with the next floor. The basement floor, if you want to call it, is basically the garage as well as an office and a minibar. Whereas the main floor, the only floor aside from the garage floor, is basically the apartment. It's not a big house by any stretch of the imagination. It's a minimalistically small house, not a minimalistic house. It's not that minimalistic as in a minimalist modern look. It's just that it is, Oh, you'll see now my trials of pain here, trying to remove that one little rectangle there, but then I decided, let's build it. But yeah, essentially it's not minimalistic in the furnishment, it's quite well furnished, it's just that it's quite small as an apartment. It's not really a whole house, it's really a small apartment. For instance, there is no dining room, there's just a kitchen, there is a small, very small living room, there is a very small bedroom for 2 people, a couple, presumably. So I guess it's like a starter house. Not really a starter house, as in the true term of The Sims, because starter house means that it costs less than 16,500, I believe. But as in a starter house for people that, you know, new people to their coupling years. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but here I was messing up with the roofs a lot, and it took me quite a while before I decided which roof would be most suitable. And I decided to lower it here, as you can see. And I was quite happy with the outcome. Now the stony floor still remains there. And I like the stone columns. I really like the color of the stone columns. It was one of the preset colors, and I feel like it matched it very well. There I tried to mess up with those columns with something up above them, but I decided to not go with anything. Now here I was trying to do something, and then I did this. Then I had to check, because I've seen this style being used in modern houses, but then I had to check how the hell do they do that. So I checked on the internet, on Google, and found a solution. Basically just make this thing and lower it up. There you go. That looks much better, and you'll see when I actually make the paneling. It's gonna be wooden paneling, and I really was enthusiastic of how that looked. Then I saw that this angle, the backyard of the house, looked quite empty, so I decided to do something similar. But it didn't quite work out, because as you can see, it isn't connected one block further into the house. So I decided to cancel it and think of what could work. Then I tried to mess up with some columns, I believe, and stuff like that. And like, yeah, right now, you see here, I tried to mess up with the columns, but again, not very satisfied with it. I canceled that thing, and then I finally find the final way to do it, and I'm really happy with the outcome. Essentially, that's it. That's how the final house is going to look. I don't believe I'm going to make major editing aside from this roof here, which I was very unsure about the size, but actually I like the looks of it, because normally that ceiling would be just standing like that, and I didn't like it too much. Now here's the wooden paneling, if you want to call it. Very dark. I really like it. Very ominous, if you want. And I tried to do the same with this flooring, but then I turned into a wood, and then I colored that wood. Sadly, I tried to put a wood for the paneling, but it just didn't work out. I decided to do it just like that. But yeah, essentially this roof really changed the look of the entire roof. I really like this like aluminum or metal kind of roof. It really made me enthusiastic of how it looked like. Now I do the three-dimensional trick. As you can see, basically there is several levels to the ceiling. Of course, then I colored these columns and stuff like that. That's really a thing that I did, but that's not the point. The point is, wait a second. You'll see as I color, see? The up above, the middle roof, if you want to call it, is a tiny little bit darker than the lowest roof. And I wanted to add a bit of third dimension to it, essentially. That's my intent, at least. I wanted to add a third dimension to it, and it worked out quite well. Especially because if I only had one wall color, and that I mean blank wall color, that is this nice little what you call it, cream color, I guess. It wouldn't have made that. I mean, it wouldn't have made the house too much. It wouldn't give the house too much shape. So I decided to give one side of the walls darker, one side brighter, and stuff. I don't even know how to explain it, but it worked. It worked out well. Now here I am filling up the blackness. Basically, this is the areas that cannot be accessed by any means in the house, and I just want to color them completely black so that they look better. Yeah, essentially, so that you know where you will never step inside. It costs quite a bit of money in terms of the game-wise, but essentially it ended up looking nice, so I was happy. Here I believe I was, yeah, attempting to color the ceiling, because I know that you can actually color the ceiling in this game, and I was very happy about it. And yeah, things happened. Now, if only I remembered what... Oh yeah, Here I tried to find an ideal way to make the flooring for the outside balconies. And you'll see that I will return shortly back to what I initially did. And that is the wooden squares that I had before. We'll see, but not for the entrance balcony, but only for the side balconies, the ones that are related to the house. Because there we go. And I will color them with the wood that I had up above, the wood paneling that I had up above, and it worked out quite nicely. But then I thought, yeah, the railing here was too dark with all these dark colors, so I decided to do like a two-sided railing. I wanted to change the color here too, but since the walls were already of a bright color, I decided to go with the dark railings. Whereas, yeah, there I saved the game because I'm never sure when the game's gonna crash and stuff. And here I'm back, you know, doing some stuff, fixing it up there, and yeah, and I extended this wall a tiny little bit more. Not a big much of a deal really, but still. Now, here is the big deal that I haven't seen anyone use yet in the game, actually. I was really surprised. And that is for the basement, or half-sunken basement, no windows. Now, I've had a lot of trouble finding the appropriate window, because no windows stick together. As you can see, this one already went a bit out. But then I find one, and it's this one. It's quite incredible how well it fits. Now you might see that there is actually a curve in terrain there below the windows. That is essentially because there is no other way to do things. I'm really apologizing for this, but it works out well. I like the fact that the basement, or the garage if you want, has some windows to it. It adds a tiny little bit of light, and that's really nice. And now I am figuring out the layout for the interior, and I will have a hard time. At this point I notice, wait a second, this house isn't even that big. And since I wanted to have staircase for the garage, I added the staircase there. And here is when I decided to add, yeah, lights, because no one was able to see. But most importantly, here is where I decided to add a office, or a library if you want, more like an office than a library, which is in the little corner down below. Now, the initial intent was to actually have a laundry room down below, but apparently laundry rooms are a thing of expansion packs, so I decided to say, let's not do that. And now finally I'm deciding for the windows. First and foremost I went with the balcony windows, very simple, modern looking big windows, or rather not balcony windows, but doors for the balcony. And here I tried to mix up, I've seen a YouTuber doing that, and I really liked how a couple of windows stick together. And at the end of the day though, I just decided to go with two windows of the same kind. As you can see here, I tried with the big windows. I have the feeling that the size of the house wasn't appropriate, so I just went with that. It's quite symmetrical. Where the wooden paneling was, there was the windows. And this is what I really liked, the looks of this. This really came out nicely. I had some trouble here, as you can see, and then I decided to put this big window together with the little red windows, and they felt very nice, especially once I changed the color of the windows. So basically there's gonna be more color sets, or rather, there's gonna be the dark color set, as well as for the doors, they're gonna have both color, the cream colors of the walls, as well as the dark color of the paneling. And I did the same here with this window, as you will notice right about now. I had a bit of trouble to finding the right colors, but it worked out at the end, so I was really happy of the outcome. So yeah, then I was searching for a door, and again, just as I saw a YouTuber do this, basically I sticked together a door with an archway. I don't remember which Sims channel it was. I believe it was like the Sims Supply or something. I really recently started looking into Sims videos, so I apologize if I screw up some names, but I believe it's the Sims Supply, and I really am grateful for this technique, because I really like how the thing improves, because essentially the normal core game had very few choices in the matter of doors and such. Now at this point I was very puzzled by how I should approach this entire house. I didn't know which rooms should be reached, so I decided, let's go outside and do some of this thing. And essentially what I did here is, with that flooring, I wanted to emulate the color of Earth, so that I could, with the move objects on of course, move some plants there and, you know, not feel bad about it. It's kind of ridiculous, but oh yeah, and then this happened. I don't know how it happened, but it happened, and I had to like fix it up. And then when I looked down, I saw there was a ceiling in the sky, and I was, wait, what? No, what? No. I was about to rage quit to the game, you see here, and I was like, come on, what the hell is this? I tried to remove the flooring and then replace it, but apparently it just disappeared after a while, so it's okay. Now I did this highlight here for the ceiling, or not the ceiling, but the roof, because eventually, in the latest steps of the video, I'm going to add some lights on top of the roof, which looks really, really nice. It adds an even further dimension to the house when it's nighttime, and I really, really like that. I've seen it someplace in modern housing in real life, and I was like, wow, that looks really, really nice. I was a bit puzzled again by the garage, and I decided just to put a column of rock there that separates the color, the walls of the garage with the walls that will be the future bar, or mini bar if you want to call it that. Here I'm messing up with the colors and the flooring of the house, and I find that some combination went really well together. For instance, in the kitchen here, I really, really like what I did. Essentially was, see, I did some sort of chess field, if you want to call it that, and then I did two colors, a dark green and a light white color of marble, if you want to call it. I don't know if that's theoretically marble. And here I wanted to do the same at first, but then I was, let's not make it too complex. Now here I added one light just to make sure that the bathroom would get the right colors. I changed it to a slightly white, how do you call this thing? I don't even know how to call them, but yeah, the thingies, the little thingies that you find in bathrooms, I changed them into a white gray color with black, and it fit the entire bathroom thing quite well, I might say. Here I'm adding some lights and finally removing the temporary lights that I had all along. I really, really like the gatehouse, how it looks with these large sustainable columns on the sides, and the lights on the sides of the sustainable columns too. It's a big garage, enough for 2 cars if you want, so it's really, really nice. I like it. Here I was messing up with what kind of wood should I use for the only stairs inside. Of course, wood wouldn't have been used inside, so I mean outside. So instead I went with marble, and I had a couple of problems finding the right one. And there we go. I changed the color to a bit darker, and I'm quite happy by the outcome. As you can see, I added the sides of the stairs, literally the sides of the stairs, as a gray color, a bright gray color, and it made quite a nice contrast with the dark brown. And here I start furnishing. I was looking for a couch that I liked, and guess what? The cheapest couch in the game is the best one that I found. Then I just messed up with the colors and made it look very nice. At first I was like, oh, I like that orange one, but then I was like, recolored it a bit, and I was looking at it and I said, this kind of looks like a gypsy house. So I decided to go to abstract and find this very nice white with gray waves. Thanks, dog. There's a dog barking outside. I tried to find suitable libraries or book stands for the house, but sadly, there's a very, very limited choice for the matter, especially modern choice of the matter. And I was really, really sad about that, because the expansion packs that I have, the ones that I got from the Humble Origin bundle, were actually quite nice, but I couldn't use them because, you know, I don't want people to buy expansion packs just because of my house. So yeah, even if apparently the expansion packs involved with the whole Humble Origin bundle are the most common ones, I believe. the most famous and most common and successful ones. I'm not even sure, but still. Here I'm furnishing a bit the house, a bit of carpeting. I really like how this carpet ends up looking. I don't know how I find it. I had a bit of trouble setting it up at first, but then I find the right colors here and the right patterns, and oh god, wait a second. Oh god. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, my computer went into sleep mode. I forgot that I'm looking at the recording of the video on my video rendering tool, so it can go in sleep mode. But yeah, I really like the patterns for the carpet, or the rug if you want, and I felt enthusiastic about it. A bit cold in color, but then again the sofa and the couches and whatever you call them weren't too warm colored either, so yeah. Now here's the problem. The kitchen and the dining room basically had to be sticked together into a very limited space. At first I tried to make like an island-like kitchen, and it actually came out to look cool, but the space was too limited. In a larger room I could do something like that again. You'll see it soon right now. Basically with move objects on, I stick it together more and more pieces, and then change the color to bright white so that the sticking together process doesn't make, you know, like artifacts, so that it looked really nice. I really liked how this island looked like. I don't know if it's actually usable by Sims, I'm not sure, but I really liked how it looked like, and it's definitely something that I could try with a house in the future, but definitely didn't work for this house, and I was like, it's kind of too small, so I decided to just cancel everything here and just make simple things, like a small island if you want. I removed the middle chair because I had the feeling like, guests, who cares for guests? But the problem is that the windows behind the kitchen are quite big, and they uncover basically the back of the counters as well as every other tool. And I really didn't like that too much. I tried to cover them as best as I could, or rather I tried to cover them, but I failed dramatically at it. Now I didn't want to go with the most expensive kitchen as possible, but I kinda did in the end. As you can see, here's what I tried to cover is, but whenever I found an appropriate item, I noticed, it's expansion pack, perfect! So I didn't go with anything. Now I'm adding some curtains to the windows, because modern houses have the tendency of having big ass windows, sorry for the term, where people can just peek inside from kilometers away, and that's a problem usually, that's a big problem. So, you know, curtains for modern houses aren't all that too much of a weird thing, I guess. I just wanted to keep the modern look to it, and I really like the paintings in this game. I really like them, even if the selection of the base game is very limited, but truth be told, I didn't mind because the paintings themselves were very nice. Now I'm changing the bed colors. There was some funky issues. I had to find the right covers as well as pillow colors and stuff like that. Then I found these spirals, and I really went funky with it. I really went funky and colorfully cold with it. Here I moved the clothing counter into the corner, which I appropriately made without even thinking about it. I really didn't even notice it. I was like, hey, I didn't remember doing that, but then I remember, hey, the stairs to the basement, that's it. Had some trouble here with the lamps positioning, but at the end it worked out well. One side would have a clock, the other side would have some nice sunflowers, and there would be a nice painting as well as a mirror. There is a mirror also behind the counter, but is that even a counter? I don't even know. My knowledge in English furnishment, or rather furnishment in English words, is quite bad. I really like the fact that the place where the water comes from, of the bath, is golden, so I changed it also back to golden. And I did very much the same thing with the sink. So I really like that. Then I added some decorations, some magazines, some toilet paper, a candle. And I saw you could place a candle literally inside the bath, and I was like, oh, that hurts. Now there was a bit of a lack of modern windows, so I decided to put this big O window here. And a nice little carpet for, you know, absorbing. And I was like, this is very light color, why can't I get it lighter? And then I turn around and apparently it got darker. And now the entrance room, the hallway if you want to call it. First I was like, let's put some libraries I guess, and some couch and sofas. And then I decided to put like a wardrobe of sorts there. Yeah, I guess that count, the things that I call as counters are wardrobes in theory. And here I was looking for appropriate decorations. I found this interesting climatization tool, which is part of the base game, and I decided to put it just on the side of the house as a decorative for decorative purposes, essentially. I really like it. Then I ended up putting 2 sofas. Hell, they cost less than $100, so I was like, hey, why not? And finally I go with what could have been the laundry room, were it not for the base game not having laundry rooms, which turned then into a bar. And finally the study, which I really like the looks of it in general, very modern and classy mixed together. You'll see the libraries, I decided to put these big libraries behind, and I really like how it looks like. The wood color is also a tiny little bit different, and the fact that it looks more classy as well as modern thanks to the office desk and stuff, it made it look very nice. I really liked it, and I put some flowers here and there, but I started going short on the flower edge. Now at first I was like, hey, let's put these air conducts, and then I was like, wait, I didn't check if they're from the expansion pack, right? So I go back and, nope, they're from the expansion pack, so I had to remove them. And here I decided that a mini bar would be the most appropriate, so I put some discs there, and as well as a stereo, and a bar, colored the same way as the counters. Those are the real counters. Now here I had some trouble selecting the chairs from up above, and finally I placed them. The problem is that the decoration for this bar without the expansions is a bit dramatic, so it's kind of empty. But at the same time, the simplistic looks of it, I like it quite a lot. Finally, we come to the final and most dreaded part for me personally, which is the... how do you call it? What do you call it? The gardening stuff. I'm really bad at gardening. I'm horrible at gardening. I was horrible in Sims 1, I was horrible in Sims 2, and I'm apparently also horrible in The Sims 3. So I decided to go with quite a basic look. A barbecue positioning, as well as a little tiny bit of a swimming pool here. I really like how it ended up looking, especially the swimming pool. It's very stony looking. I essentially used the stone walls and as well as the stone floorings from before. And here I'd cover the road that I just painted, so that I might do some dirt highlights here. A bit too dark if you ask me, but then again I didn't have much option. The brighter option was quite boring. Here I'm gonna add some stones for decoration purposes. I really like how this ended up looking. Basically, just spam the rocks the way you like it most, and it ended up looking very nice. And then I started putting some shrubs here and there and everywhere, and I'm really happy by the outcome of it. Even if I suck at it, I'm really happy of how it looked like. Some clovers below the orange flowers. Orange because the house walls look kind of orange, rather brownish, very light brownish or creamish. Here I had some move objects on issues, so for the trampoline thingy. And now finally the final place. Here I found this very nice decoration statue, if you want, which is a fountain. It's a small fountain, and I was like, oh my god, this is so beautiful. It's one of those things that I would like to have even in real life if possible. It's really nice. So I decided to put 2 of them, move the flowers away, and in between it, the barbecue post, if you want. Then I sticked 2 tables, outside tables, together, and I got like a bigger table for 4 people. I started putting the lights for the driveway, so that the car doesn't crash in case, you know, it's nighttime. By the way, I do realize that cars in this game instantly teleport from the garage or their parking lot to the road. That's a major complaint about the fans, actually, not being able to see how their driveways work. Okay, I mess up with the grass a bit, add a bit of flowers. I noticed that the entrance of the house is quite bland, so I decided to add some shrubbery here and there. I like how that little palm-like leaf shrub with the round shrub looks together. Now add the final bits and pieces of the house, which is the lights on top of the roof, as well as some nice lights in the corners of the barbecue place, the outdoor restaurant if you want, as well as the swimming pool. And here's how it looks by nighttime. Now you can see how the final product of the house looks like. Sadly, I know that there is a better way to do this, like screenshots and stuff like that, but I'm kind of bad at it. As in, I have no clue how to do it, so like, yeah. And that's it. That's essentially it. So thanks everybody for watching me build this house, which is not the first house, but it's definitely before the first 10 houses that I built. I'm quite happy by the outcome. I'll post a link down in the description below if you want to download it by any chance. It's not the perfect house by any stretch of the imagination. I really start panicking every time I get to the interior. My interior management is really bad, especially space management. But what can you do about it? This is the final product. I am quite happy with it. So hopefully you like it too. Hopefully you enjoyed watching. And until next time, whenever it's gonna be, probably soon, because I really like The Sims 3 despite all the hate of, you know, EA, monetization. Oh my god, no! Hey, I got it for like 6, 7, 8 bucks. I don't remember what I gave to the charities. So I'm happy with it. So yeah. Thanks everyone for watching, and until next time, be well. Bye!
This was the Lauron Gaming Show. Thanks for watching.